Hi, this is Patrick. I'm Patrick, and this is Patrick in the studio. And what I want to cover today with you is perspective, and specifically one-point perspective. All right, so for that purpose, I've set up my paper, my easel. I went and found this little cardboard box I'm going to put in front of me, and that'll be the object that I'm going to draw in perspective. So, and to do that, I'm going to start by drawing my horizon line. So I'm going to put a line through the middle of my paper here. Now this line could be put anywhere. I could put it higher or lower. If I put it higher, I'll be looking more down at the objects I'm going to draw. If I put it lower, I'll be looking up at the objects I draw. So in other words, your horizon line is your eye level in your drawing. Then on the horizon line, I'm going to put a vanishing point. And again, for me right at the moment, this is somewhat arbitrary, just like my horizon line. So I'll put it here. All right. Now, as I'm sitting here looking at the box, I could do the drawing so that where I'm sitting in relationship to the box is illustrated in the drawing. In other words, I could put a vanishing point on the wall in front of me and then draw the object using that vanishing point, therefore creating a relationship between me and the box. In other words, specifically where I'm sitting in relationship to it. But I'm not going to do that. I could. What I'm really just doing is I just want to kind of show you how to draw the box in perspective, in one point's perspective. So I'm going to do a little editing there. I know my line is dipping down on the left there. Remember, a good artist is a good editor, so I'm editing that. I'm now going to draw the box. Every object has 3 dimensions, and that's height, width, and depth. So all the lines that describe the height of the object are vertical and parallel. All the lines that describe the width of the object from side to side are horizontal and parallel. This is the one-point perspective. I'm drawing with vine charcoal, by the way, which I like to draw with. It's nice and messy, and I can erase it really easy. And you know, again, I said this before in other videos I've done. A good artist is a good editor. So I like the idea of how that feels to edit things and change things. Now all the lines that describe the object from front to back, or the depth of the object, go where? They go to the vanishing point, like so. They converge. They're converging lines. 1, 2, and 3. Now to draw a straight line, I usually try to look where I'm drawing. These lines aren't very straight. And if I really want to make a straight line, then I can go grab a ruler. And there's no shame in using a ruler when it comes to drawing lines or straight lines. You know, it depends what you want in your drawing. If you want really precise straight lines, get a ruler. I don't really care for that. I like the feel of a hand-drawn line because I just think it feels a little more, I feel more connected to it. It's not so precise. You know, my drawings are not about being precise or not about illustrating things. What they really are about is some kind of, I'm trying to create some kind of thought or idea about the objects I'm drawing. I'm trying to evoke something from my viewer. So there we go. Now I just need to tell you where the back edge of the box is, and therefore I'm going to draw a line parallel to these 2 lines that then describe the right edge of the box. Now I can put that line anywhere. If I want my box to feel longer, I can put it back here. If I want it to feel shorter, I can put it here. But I think that's a good place for it. I think it describes that box in particular. Okay, and then another line here, the back edge of the box, and parallel to these 2 lines. See if I can do that. All right. Now if I want to draw another box behind that box, I can do that. I can draw another line here, and then across like that, and up as the front of the second box, and then the back edge of that box. And I can draw another box behind that box. So I can keep drawing boxes, a series of boxes using the same converging lines, creating a relationship. And also you see how the boxes are getting smaller and smaller and smaller as they go back towards the horizon. Okay. Now if you were to get in a car and get on a highway, a straight highway that is, and you look down the highway, you'd see the edges of the highway coming together and vanishing on a spot on the horizon line. Essentially that's sort of a simple illustration of how things get smaller as they recede away from you. If you continue down the highway, of course, they don't actually come together, but in the context of a drawing, it's a way of creating this relationship and showing you how things get smaller and smaller and smaller. If I do the box up here, of course, what happens? Remember, this is our eye level in my drawing, so here we're looking down at the boxes. If I draw a box up here, this we're looking up at this box, right? Lines for the height, lines for the width, and then my converging lines to the vanishing point. And what we can also do here is we can couple value. In other words, we can shade things in. So, for example, here I can create a little shadow coming out from the right side of the box, pretending our light's coming in from the right, right? And I can describe each facet of the box having a different value. Again, this is the virtue of vine charcoal. Very easy to play with, smudge and play with it. I love vine charcoal because I like to edit my drawings. I'm always constantly editing. I like materials that I can edit easily. Now, where's an example of one-point perspective? Well, one of the most famous paintings and an example of one-point perspective is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. See, you can use perspective just to describe an object, but here in that example of The Last Supper, Da Vinci is actually using value or using perspective to tell the story of the Last Supper. Where does he put the vanishing point in that painting? He puts it on the head of Jesus Christ. So he directs your attention to the central figure. And he also isolates the figure. There's other things he's doing in that painting, but there he's using perspective to create what I call content or create an idea. All right? So perspective can be used as another tool to, tell stories, or it could be just to illustrate an object. So there's one-point perspective, and next time we'll cover two-point perspective. Thank you.